ഏകദിന സന്ദർശനത്തിനായി കേരളത്തിലെത്തിയ ഉപരാഷ്ട്രപതി ജഗദീപ് ധൻകർ കോവളം KTDC സമുദ്രയിൽ രാജാനക പുരസ്കാരം സമ്മാനിച്ച ശേഷം ഇപ്പോൾ സദസ്സിനെ അഭിസംബോധന ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. തത്സമയ ദൃശ്യങ്ങൾ കാണാം.
This is from the judgment of the Supreme Court, authored by Justice Ansaria. A professor of Cambridge University is deeply engrossed in his studies in his calm chamber. An agitated English soldier enters the study room and accuses the professor in not sharing the trauma of war which he said many others like him are facing while fighting Germans. Imagine the pain of the soldier being expressed to the professor by getting into a chamber. Further, I quote, the professor calmly asks the young soldier, for whom is he fighting for? Quick comes the reply that it is to defend his country. The wise man, that is the professor, the wise man, I continue to quote, wants to know what is that country to defend, which is prepared to shed his blood. The soldier replies, it is the territory and its people. On further questioning, the soldier says, it is not only this, but the culture of the country which he wants to defend. The professor quietly states that he is contributing to that culture. The soldier calms down and bows down in respect to the professors and vows to defend with more vigor the cultural heritage of his country. Unquote. Friends, this quote from the Supreme Court captures the essence of what culture is. If a civilization is to thrive, its culture has to thrive. A nation is known not by its boundaries, by its infrastructure, though these are important, but by depth of its culture. I am therefore so glad and happy to note that this incident, this event, this momentous occasion celebrates two of the great scholars, extraordinary scholars, wedded to a particular cause. My congratulations. Friends, what a coincidence. Three important events have taken place today, are taking place. My greetings to all of you for Mahashivratri, an important occasion, very important occasion. And second, International Women's Day. And look at the background just few months ago. On Kartavya Path, on 75th Republic Day, what did we witness? We witnessed power of our women, women-led development. And on this great day comes a soothing news, and more soothing to the chairman of Rajya Sabha, a position which I hold by virtue of being Vice President of the country. Dr. Sudha Murthy, an illustrious woman, dedicated to social progress, committed to development of vulnerable sections of society, has been nominated by President of India, herself a woman, a tribal woman, to be nominated member of Rajya Sabha. This marks that our country is changing for the better. This event, this nomination indicates we are on the right track. Friends, I am humbled by the sublimity of the occasion. Kashmiri Shiv tradition is being celebrated in the holy land of Adi Shankaracharya, a great unifier of spirit and idea of Bharat. Rajanka Awards, with respect to which the Honorable Governor reflected very exhaustively, I would still call, with respect to him, Rajan Ka Awards. Ancient titles symbolizing the union of power and wisdom honors scholars of Kashmiri Shaivism and celebrates the enduring intellectual and spiritual unity of India. The honor that has been bestowed today on Dr. Mark Diskovsky and Dr. Navjivan Rastogi is not an honor to them. It is an honor to all of us that we are honoring them. It is honor on us that we have the occasion and privilege to honor these people for their outstanding contributions. Congratulations to Abhinav Gupta Institute of Advanced Studies. It is not easy, friends, to work in a field which is so difficult. You have to work against headwinds. You have to work against challenges. I am so happy to note that the Institute has really engaged in reviving the age-old linkage that was marked by Adi Shankaracharya's journey to Kashmir by bringing Trika Darshan of Kashmir Shaivism back to Kerala. Not an easy task. I congratulate everyone associated with this institute on this great accomplishment. This eminent institution promotes advanced studies and research striving towards the revival of indigenous intellectual traditions and ancient knowledge systems, the crucial aspects of India's resurgence. Friends, culture is the most impactful unifying force, not only for a country but for the entire world. If we get involved with culture seriously all over the globe, we will find peace and harmony. Culture is ultimate intellect. Culture is embellishment of a society that distinguishes itself from others. Culture is compassion. Culture is tolerance. Culture is subtlety. Culture is enrichment of human soul. And when an institute is engaged in this direction, we can only commend them. They exemplify the need of the hour, and their success is our success. Friends, our nation's 5,000-year-old civilizational ethos has always been infused with the spiritual oneness transcending diversities. Not many people are aware, because the constitution which boys and girls read in law colleges, or the constitution which lawyers use in courts, does not contain a very fundamental part of Indian constitution, and that is 20-year-old miniatures. If you look at the constitution signed actually by members of the Constituent Assembly, you will find these miniatures reflecting our 5,000-year-old civilizational ethos. From Gurukul, Indus Valley, Ramayana, the scene in part 3 of the Constitution, fundamental rights. What does it have? It has Ram, Lakshmana and Sita coming back to Ayodhya. If we go to directive principles of state policy, what do we find? Lord Krishna giving his discourse and advice to Arjuna at Kurukshetra, and so on. Friends, our ageless unity is reflected in our one of the often missed aspects, and this is there in the Constitution. Friends, the event in Kerala with its 13 Kali temples is still following Kashmir Shaivism exemplifies the deep integration of India's spirit from Kashmir to Kerala. It also underlines the age-old intellectual interactions between Kashmir and Kerala. Friends, it is vital to explore and rediscover our traditional knowledge systems, combating prejudices against them. There are some people, I would call them cynical. They are recipe for chaos. They raise questions, and those questions have to be negated by us. Dismissing our traditional knowledge as unscientific, archaic, without study, is a reflection only of a prejudice that lacks knowledge, understanding of culture, born out of ignorance, and not a desire to learn the right things. Such prejudice against Indian knowledge and Indian knowledge systems in certain sections of academic discourse is contrary to the concept of modern scientific temper. Let me invite, friends, your attention to our constitutional prescriptions. If we go to fundamental duties or we go to directive principles of state policy, you will find there is prominence given to culture, our heritage, and the need to preserve it. When we speak in our constitution, equitable distribution of wealth, that for ages has been our cultural essence. As a matter of fact, it was nectar of our civilization. But I must share with you a great concern of the times. And the concern is that we are living in times when iconic status is granted to people on basis which are baffling. We don't question why they are called so.
ഏകദിന സന്ദർശനത്തിനായി കേരളത്തിലെത്തിയ ഉപരാഷ്ട്രപതി ജഗദീപ് ധൻകർ കോവളം KTDC സമുദ്രയിൽ രാജാനക പുരസ്കാരം സമ്മാനിച്ച ശേഷം സദസ്സിനെ അഭിസംബോധന ചെയ്തതിന്റെ തത്സമയ ദൃശ്യങ്ങളാണ് നമ്മൾ ഇതുവരെ കണ്ടുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. ത്രികാശൈവ തന്ത്രത്തിൽ വർഷങ്ങളുടെ ഗവേഷണ പാരമ്പര്യമുള്ള മാർക്ക് ഡിറ്റ്കോവ്സ്കി, പ്രൊഫസർ നവജീവൻ രസ്തോഗി എന്നിവർക്ക് പ്രഥമ രാജാനക പുരസ്കാരം ഉപരാഷ്ട്രപതി സമ്മാനിച്ചു. തത്വചിന്ത, കാവ്യം, സംഗീതം തുടങ്ങി പല മേഖലകളിൽ മികച്ച സംഭാവനകൾ നൽകിയ വ്യക്തികൾക്ക് കശ്മീരിലെ രാജാക്കന്മാർ നൽകിയിരുന്ന ആദരസൂചകമായ നാമമാണ് രാജാനക. പുരസ്കാരത്തിന് അർഹരായവരെ 5-അംഗ കമ്മിറ്റിയാണ് തെരഞ്ഞെടുക്കുന്നത്. തിരുവനന്തപുരത്തെ പരിപാടിക്ക് ശേഷം ഉപരാഷ്ട്രപതി കോയമ്പത്തൂരിലേക്ക് പോകും. മഹാശിവരാത്രി ആഘോഷങ്ങളോടനുബന്ധിച്ച് കോയമ്പത്തൂരിൽ ഈശ യോഗ കേന്ദ്രം ഉപരാഷ്ട്രപതി സന്ദർശിക്കും. കർണാടകയിലും സന്ദർശനം നടത്തുന്ന ഉപരാഷ്ട്രപതി ബംഗളൂരുവിലെ ISRO സാറ്റലൈറ്റ് ഇന്റഗ്രേഷൻ ആൻഡ് ടെസ്റ്റിംഗ് എസ്റ്റാബ്ലിഷ്മെന്റിൽ ശാസ്ത്രജ്ഞരുമായി സംവദിക്കും.